Yo, what's up? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you perfect. Can you hear me today?
It's pretty faint, I must say. It could be my phone. My phone's a piece of crap. I lost, or my other one died, so I had to buy a new
Oh,
one, and
okay,
it's
I get
cheap.
you. Yeah, yeah. So how are you doing
How
today?
does?
I like the artwork you got in the background there.
Cheers. Yeah, you got a pretty good selection of art behind you too,
Oh, yes, sir. Been
and photos.
trying to collect for a while now.
Nice. I wonder if the folks watching how the volume is for you or for them. If it's good, then I can just deal with it. But you might have to. I don't know if something's up. I'm obviously not a technically savvy person, in case that wasn't clear.
Yeah, I hear you loud and clear. Yeah, I hear you perfectly fine on my
Cool.
end.
I may have to ask to repeat things now and then.
Yeah, that's no problem.
Maybe if I. Oh wait, I turned up my volume. Now it's good.
There we go. Yeah, that's no problem, big guy.
Ooh,
Yes,
yeah.
sir. Yes, sir. Well, everybody, like you guys to all welcome Jacob Collins on, the Trailer Park Boys. I had the privilege the other day to have a donator with him. I met him just downtown Halifax. He was in town for a tiny little visit. And yeah, he honored me with being able to take him for lunch. We chatted for probably a good 45 minutes, which was a dream come true. So it was nice to also have him here on my interviews. So I think we should just get started with her right away. Thank you, Jacob, for being on here. It's an honor and a
Yeah,
privilege to
man.
have you, brother. Appreciate it.
Thanks for the donaire, and yeah, good to see you in person in town too, in the big city.
Yes, sir. So it's going to start it off with how old were you when you first joined onto the show there? Probably like what, 20 years ago? Maybe a little over 20 years ago
Yeah,
now?
I must have been about like 26 or so,
26?
like just doing the math from now. So yeah, mid 20s.
20. And where are you originally from?
Well, I was born in Halifax, but my parents had been living in Ottawa beforehand, and then they went back to Ottawa right after I was born. So I've got a Nova Scotia birth certificate, but I grew up in Ottawa, like for my
Okay.
formative years.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Wow. So where were you when you guys were filming the original seasons and stuff like that? So you were obviously living here in Halifax or within the Halifax region area, anyways.
I was living in Halifax at that time. I guess, what had I done before that? Oh, I moved to Toronto in my early 20s, like when I moved out of like from home, where I grew up.
How'd
And
you
then,
like?
yeah, I moved to Halifax in my mid 20s, like a few years before Trailer Park Boys started. So, yeah, I was living in Halifax, working at the Marquee Club, just, smoking dope, hanging out.
I hear that. How'd you like Toronto living there when you were younger?
I mean, it's got its benefits and drawbacks. I was living there also, like, uh, before I moved back to Nova Scotia 7 years ago. So I've lived there like a few times over the decades. And yeah, I mean it's fine in some ways, but I mean you couldn't pay me to live there now.
Too busy over there,
Giant
yeah.
city. Oh,
Way too way
have you
too
ever lived
busy
in
here
a big
now.
city other than Halifax?
Yeah, I find Halifax quite the busy spot too.
Yeah, yeah. It's like the size of one neighborhood in Toronto, kind of. But yeah, I mean it was good in a lot of ways, but yeah, it was far too big, and eventually the benefits or the drawbacks outweighed the benefits, and I decided to move to the countryside where I am now, back in Scotia.
Oh, okay, yeah. A little more peace and quiet out there. At least you could keep to yourself a little easier.
Yeah, cheaper, like cost of
Cheaper.
living, and yeah, peace,
Yeah.
more peace and quiet. And so
Yeah.
the philosophy I'm working towards these days, it's definitely a slow process, but it's spend less, work less, kick back more. So
Well, it's well deserved. It's well deserved for sure. So
and yeah, and like moving out of the city is part of the plan, basically.
yeah. So who came to you with the like? How did the whole, I guess, Jacob character come to be? Like, were you approached by somebody from I guess the directors and stuff from from the show, or somebody just found you just doing some sort of little show?
Yeah,
Or
they were filling like roles, I guess, for season one, just like small roles, and I was doing background on a different movie, and the makeup lady on that movie was Mike Clattenburg's wife, or hair, I think, hair or makeup, one or the other. Uh,
okay,
her, her name is Anne Marie, and yeah, she like I guess got my number, gave it to him, and then I had a meeting with Clattenburg, and yeah, he cast me in the show, and the rest is history.
the rest is history. Yeah. How was it filming back then compared to it is like from the last seasons that you filmed? Because I know you were just in like little tiny little pieces here and there in the beginning of it. I guess near the end of the old
Yeah.
seasons is when you kind of blossomed out, and then obviously going into the new series, you were, obviously there the whole time with Trinity and the motel and all that stuff. So you were, I guess, your role became bigger, I guess, in a sense that way. So
My role definitely changed, and then also, I mean, not being a trained actor, I was totally like a fish out of water. I
oh,
mean, big time in the early days, arguably still in the later days to some degree. But I got used to being on set and sort of how it worked, and at least got like more relaxed about having to do stuff when the camera's on you. Um, but I mean, also like in the early days, it was still a professional crew, but I think people were, just like they were definitely more professional after a whole bunch of years. Like some folks were there the whole time, or like a good chunk of that time doing the same job, and so they get more and more good at it as time goes on.
yeah,
Although there was the magic, I guess, of the early years, maybe like before it was quite so scripted, even though it was still scripted in the early days. Uh,
yeah.
there was something magic about those first few seasons.
Yeah, because the first few seasons they were kind of testing the waters with the comedy and the way that they were filming the show and stuff like that. So I feel like they were, they were, yeah, like so like they were kind of just testing the waters, and it kind of just blossomed and it kind of just blew
For
up.
sure, yeah,
There's
yeah,
a lot of improvising and a lot of like I've heard that there was a lot of like scripts, where they were, off script a little bit, but it made the scene a little bit more funny, and they basically kept what basically came out as what they thought was funny, which was pretty cool. And then yeah, nowadays with swearing at everything, they're obviously a lot more scripted, a lot more, I guess, professionals involved and stuff like that. So it comes
yeah,
to the team. So
yeah. I mean, they still do play around with the script, and like the boys do a lot of improvising or ad-libbing,
yeah,
like for the live action like stuff that is still scripted by and large. But yeah, like they're really good improvisers. So they would like throw out different insults every take, for example, like regardless of what might have been in the script or things like that. Um,
that's fair.
but yeah, it's cool. Like not being a trained actor, it was cool to see how all that stuff works. And then in the later seasons when I was on set more, I definitely got to like see more of it as opposed to the early seasons when I would just get flown in, being in a few scenes, and then back home.
Yeah, yeah. And you also had a lot of influences around you, like John Dunsworth and stuff like that, and a lot of the other casts. I guess almost shadowed over the years, and then you got to almost learn, how it would be on set just by being around it so much. I guess all the time in the earlier seasons, especially when you were starting to get into like season 7, when you were starting to get like thrown in there a lot with
For sure.
John, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because he was like
Yeah.
arresting you
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So there's a lot of you guys.
Yeah, just being able to hang around and watch what's going on more on set was good, like a good teacher. And then, yeah, John Dunsworth, for example, in particular, was like often, helpful with like acting tips, or if I had questions, I could go to him, and he'd be happy to like talk about stuff.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Would you say that you have a do you watch the show yourself? Like, have you like gone through it? Like,
I've seen it all, but like some of the seasons I've only seen once, and it's been like probably over 10 years. I've been meaning to watch the whole thing again from start to finish, so I could be like, well, because it's like because it's funny, but also so I could like know what's going on, like fresher, so I can get people's references and stuff. And I'm starting to miss them, I guess, more than usual now.
yeah, yeah.
What scene is that? Huh? But
blossom mix.
I did watch a couple of seasons a couple of winters ago during COVID, like during the long winter. I was like the season where Leahy goes nuts with the propane,
Oh
and that one
yeah.
I'd only seen that once before, and that was like I'd forgotten most of it, so that was a total pleasure to watch. Like so much awesome stuff that I totally
Propane to
forgotten about.
propane.
Yeah,
Just start the game. Yeah. Those are good series. Yeah. For a good season. Yeah. I think that was season 5 or
yeah.
something like that. Season 4 or
I
5.
think it might have been 5. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I got some fly here just flying around.
Oh,
Let me just okay. If it stops, I might have to blast it. I've got it. This thing shoots salt out of it, and
oh, geez.
I don't take a pleasure in killing flies per se, but if they don't shut the fuck up, sometimes they gotta go.
I know what you mean.
Sometimes I can stun them with this and then like throw them outside, like from a glass or a piece of paper.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, there's one there. You're going down, buddy. All right,
Oh, thanks, sick.
got him.
Shit. I guess you go out country to get the well, I guess we get the flies here in the city too, but out country you get the ruthless ones. You get like all the big black flies, all the horse flies and stuff.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them. I've got a squirrel these days too, little
Oh,
fucker.
Jesus.
He's a cute little fucker, a little red squirrel, but starting to become a hassle, like eating my chips and stuff. Can't have that. So I'm
Oh
trying to.
man. No.
I haven't tried to go after the squirrel with the bug assault here. I might try to make a trap, like a classic, like put a pot on a stick and like maybe some peanut butter or one of his favorite snacks in there.
Oh yeah.
And then trap it and then like drive it, like either walk it back into the forest or something, see if it could find a new home. Because yeah, as cute as little guy is, he's also a little fucker, so he's got to go.
You do you think you say you have like a favorite? I guess that's maybe not season. I guess well maybe season favorite season around an era when you had I guess the most fun filming as Jacob Collins, like season 7. You know when
I
you're
mean,
later.
there's so much fun stuff that went on. Like it's really hard to say. Like season 7 when I was in full Julian, and that was the first season I was in on the show a lot. Was like sort of fun and remarkable for various reasons.
Yeah.
But then like season 12, when my neck was broken, I was wearing like the halo. Like so much crazy shit went down in that season too. Like the crash at Derby and the Freedom 45 van like cruising around, getting kicked by a horse. I mean, it's like, although it is a bit scary at times, like when I got in behind that horse, stuff like that does feel like my life and limb might be on the line. But yeah, it's it is super fun as well. So yeah, it really is hard to say. So I don't have a standout favorite, but I would suggest maybe one of those 2 seasons
I think you
so far.
I think you mentioned at lunch. So you said you like the Say Goodnight to the Bad Guys.
Oh yeah, that was fun. Yeah, that was a special that was fun to shoot in the old dance club or whatever it was, like a community center, I guess, basically.
Yeah.
In Halifax. Yep. Yeah, that was super fun. Got to dress up. I was working security for Julian. What more can a fella ask? What more can a fella ask for?